Good morning, students. So, today we are going to continue the topic partnership. And in partnership, we already studied that it is one of the form of business organization, and it is formed under the Amendment of Indian Partnership Act 1932. And partnership is an association of two or more partners who agreed to join to start a business activity. Okay, so it is the meaning of the term partnership, and it is amended under the Partnership Act 1932. And we studied the features of partnership in the last class. So today we are going to see about what are all the merits or advantages of partnership. Okay. So see the first one. It is very easy to form and it is easy to close because it is very easy to there is no legal formalities are required to be completed. Even registration of partnership firm is also not compulsory according to the Partnership Act. So there is no compulsory to register the firm under the Partnership Act. So it is only easy to form and close the business organization. Okay, next one is balanced decision making. Balanced decision making. So in partnership, the partners can decide the work as per their skill and knowledge. So the division of work is mainly depends upon the specialization and efficiency in the management and other activities of the firm. Okay, so the partners can divide the work as per the skill and knowledge, and the division of the work is mainly depends upon the efficiency in management and specialization in the management and other activities of the business firm. So there is more possible to maintain a balanced decision making in the business organization. Okay, next one is more funds, that is more fund. In partnership firm, all the partners contribute a small amount of capital which is available to them. So the financial resources, that is the fund of the partnership firm, are larger when comparing to the sole proprietorship or joint Hindu family business. So it is one of the merits of the partnership firm. Okay, and next, sharing of risk, that is a risk sharing factor, sharing of risk. So in sole proprietorship, only one person has to bear the risk. I am right. Whereas in the partnership firm, all the partners should come forward. Even if it is a profit or loss, they have to share the risk, share the profit and losses in certain ratio, which is created by the partners during the starting of the partnership business, and they have to share the profit or losses as per the ratio. Okay, so the sharing of the risk motivates the partners to undertake some of the project, some of the hard project, some of the toughest project. So even by having the confidence, if there is a chances of facing the risk, that risk can be shared among all the partners, and so it is very comfortable for them and creating the confidence among the partners to handle that risk and earn more profit. So it is one of the merits of partnership. Okay, and next, secrecy can be maintained. So in partnership firm, it is not required to publish all the accounts because it is also not compulsory to register under the Partnership Act. So there is no need to publish the accounts, and therefore that is the accounts and all the confidential informations can be able to maintained in a secrecy manner, and all the activities of the partnership firm are carried on by all the partners. So if there is a honesty and loyalty among the partners, so there definitely there is a less chances of making some of the misleading activities and malpractices. There is a very less chances which is happen among the partnership firm. Okay, so it is one of the merits of partnership. Next one is, even if there is more features or merits of partnership firm, since there are some of the limitations of partnership. So first one is unlimited liability. Unlimited liability. That is, the in partnership the liability of all the partners are unlimited. In case of losses, the partners will not only lose their business property, but creditors, that is the person who is purchasing the goods on the credit, can climb over their personal property also to get their accounts settled. Okay, so in the case of sole proprietor, or there is the person can have to face the risk by the individually he has the responsibility to face the risk. I'm right. And if there is any that is due to some of the unexpected losses, if he can't able to repay the debt, he is the only person to pay the debt. But in partnership firm, in certain cases, if there is any losses and if the partners are not able to repay the debt at that time, he is responsible to pay the debt by selling the business property. But if they are not able to settle the debt within a particular period, the person, that is who provide the loan to the partnership firm, the person has the right to claim the amount by putting some of the cases. Okay, and if they are putting some if they shoot the case in the court, it is some of problem which has to be faced by the partnership firm. Okay, but the liability is limited, and and uh, and he is responsible. The partnership firm and all the partners is responsible to pay the debt to the financial institutions. Okay, so it is one of the limitations of the partnership firm. And next one is limited resources. Limited resources. There is a restriction on the number of partners. We already studied, no? There is a minimum to maximum 50, and hence the contribution in the terms of capital investment, that is investment which is made at the time of starting the partnership firm, is not sufficient for the large scale enterprises. If it is a large scale enterprises, the amount which is invested by the partner is not sufficient. Okay, so as a result, the partnership firm face some of the problem to expand the business activity. Okay, so it is one of the limitations of partnership firm. And next one is, there is a chances of conflict between the partners. That is, the partners in the partnership firm come from the different backgrounds. I'm right. So they are coming from different backgrounds, different families, and they are having, definitely they are having the difference of opinions. So if the partners adapt a rigid attitude, that is attitude among the partners, then there may be lot of chances to which result in conflict among all the partners. Okay, so it is one of the limitations of partnership firm. And next one is lack of continuity. Next one is lack of continuity. So what is the lack of continuity? That is, if when the business is going on, if any partners due to any some of the emergency, the there may be the chances of death of the partner. And if there is any problem related to the insolvency, that is if the partnership firm comes to the insolvency means that is the partnership firm cannot able to repay the debt to the financial institution, that is the insolvent, or incapacity of any one of the partner. So there is a three partner. If any one partner is not having the sufficient skill or knowledge to carry out the business activity sufficiently, then there is a chances of discontinue the not able to continue the business with the same partner. So at that time they have to dissolve the partnership firm. That is called a dissolution of the partnership firm. So what is the dissolution of the partnership firm? That is not able to continue the partnership firm due to some of the reasons. Okay, the next one is lack of public confidence. Lack of public confidence. So the public has the less trust and faith in the partnership firm. What is the reason? Because the accounts and the annual report which is maintained by the partnership firm or not, they will not publish any accounts which or annual report which is prepared by the partnership firm to the public. So without seeing that proper evidence, the public are not having the certain confidence on that particular partnership firm. Okay, and next one is risk of mutual agency. That is, the contract which is signed by any one partner is binding on the other partner. So definitely they will depends upon the other partner due to the on the mainly on the principle of mutual understanding. So if any partner which is a dishonest person means, definitely if that is they will enter into the partnership firm only for enjoying their personal benefit. Definitely there may be in certain cases the partnership firm will have to suffer the loss. Okay, that is the another important limitation of. So that's the honesty and loyalty is the main important factor in the partnership business. Okay, and next one we are going to see about types of the partners. The first one is the active partner or working partner. First one is active partner or working partners. So the active partner participate in the management. He will contribute the capital and he'll take part in all the day-to-day activities in the business. And there is a direct contact between the management and they will participate all the activities in the management. And his liability is unlimited and he contributes the capital in the partnership firm. Okay, and the active partner is liable to get the share in the profit or loss of the company. That is the active partner. Okay, the next one is sleeping or dormant partner. It is, what is a sleeping partner? Who does not participate in the management of the firm. So these partners are bound by the activities of the active partner. So as per the instruction of the active partner, the sleeping partner should continue their work. Okay, so these partners will also contribute the capital and they will get the share in the profit or loss of the business firm. And the liability of the sleeping partner is also unlimited. Okay, this is the sleeping or dormant partner. Next, secret partner. Secret partner. So, secret partner is one whose association or relation with the firm is not known to the outsiders. So, the outsiders, um, that is the person, is a secret person, and the association or relationship, the person having the proper association with the partnership firm is not known to the others, that is the outsiders. And in this partner will also contribute the capital, and he will participate actively in all the management activity, and his liability is also unlimited. Okay, and next, nominal partner. Who is the nominal partner? So they are not the real partners of the partnership firm. These partners do not contribute any capital, and they will not participate in the management activity. And these partners do not have the unlimited liability, and they do not get any share in the profit or loss of the business firm. So, what is the actual duty of the nominal partner? So, the nominal partner only lends his name. He will give only the name in order to attract the consumers. That is the reputation of the firm, in order to improve the reputation of the business firm. And he is liable to the outsiders for the debt which outsiders have given to the firm. So he is liable to the person who is provided the loan to the partnership firm, and believing that he is a partner in that firm, that is, he is having the direct contact with the outsiders, and he will have the and he is liable, and he is making himself as liable to the outsiders for the repayment of the debt, but his liability is unlimited. So he did not have any unlimited liability, that is believing that he is one of the partner in the partnership firm. Okay, the only one right is he is lending his name to to attract the consumers as per the name, as per the brand name or name of the firm. Definitely there is a lot of facilities or suitability to expand the growth of the business activity. I'm right. So he is lending his name only to improve the growth of the business firm. That is the nominal partner. Okay, next, in nominal partners there are two types of nominal partners. So the first one is nominal partner by estoppel and nominal partner by holding out. Okay, so first we are going to see about nominal partner by estoppel. So it is coming under the nominal partner. So there are two types of the nominal partner. The first one is nominal partner by estoppel. The person who accepts that he is the partner in the partnership firm by his own words or conduct is known as the nominal partner by estoppel. Okay, so the person who accepts that he is the person, that is, he is a partner in the partnership firm by his own words, that is coming forward and he is accepting, and he is accepting that he is one of the partner in the partnership firm, is called as the nominal partner by estoppel. And he is liable for the debt which the firm gets because of his reputation. You already studied. For example, Mr. X is the active partner of the business firm. Okay, and he applies the loan for the partnership firm. And Mr. A, who is not the partner, requests the financier to give the loan as he is also the partner in the firm. Then Mr. A will be considered as the nominal partner by estoppel. Understand? That is, one of the person, that is Mr. X, as the active partner, and he applied the loan. Another person, Mr. A, who is not the partner, but he requests the financier to give the amount of loan to the partnership firm, and that person A is called as the nominal partner by estoppel. Okay, and if the partnership firm fails to pay back the loan, then the financier, that is who provided the loan, can claim the loan amount from whom? That is from A. That is the nominal partner by estoppel. Okay, that is the first type. The another type of nominal partner is nominal partner by holding out. Nominal partner by holding out. Nominal partner by holding out. That is the partner who does not call himself as the partner in the firm. The partner who does not call himself as the partner in the firm, but who does not object when others call him as the partner in the firm. Then he is also a person called as partner by holding out. Okay, so for example, Mr. X applies for the loan, saying that Mr. A is also the partner in the firm. Okay, what is the condition? That is, Mr. X applies for the loan in the financial institution, saying that Mr. A is also the partner in the firm, and Mr. A is also showing no objection to the statement of Mr. X. That is, Mr. A is not giving any objection on the statement which is given by the Mr. X. Then Mr. A is called as the nominal partner by holding out. Okay, and he is also liable to pay back the debt which the company got the loan by using his name. This is the nominal partner by holding out. Okay, that is using his name, and the person is not giving any objection of using his name when getting the loan from the financial institution. Then that partner is called as the nominal partner by holding out. Okay, and that person is also liable to pay the debt when the company is because the company used his name, so he is liable to repay the debt to the financial institution. Okay, so these are all the types of partners. So what are all the types of partners? Active partner, sleeping partner, secret partner, and nominal partner. In nominal partner there are two types: nominal partner by estoppel and nominal partner by holding out. Okay, next one is minor as a partner. Minor as a partner. See, the Partnership Act 1932 does not permit a minor to become the partner in the partnership firm. The minor person can only be admitted to the benefits of the existing firm. So the person has the right on the benefits of the admitted to the benefits of the existing firm. So the minor partner do not contribute any capital, and they are not allowed to participate in the management of the firm. But the minor partner is liable to the outsiders, and he does not get any share in the loss. He get only share in the profit. Okay, so these are all the features of minor partner. So after attaining the age of majority, the minor has to give the public notice. So he should come forward, and after attaining the age of major, that is, he should give the notice. That is, in that notice, he should indicate that whether he will remain as the partner in the partnership firm or not. If he does not give any notice within a prescribed period, then he will be deemed to become an active partner in the firm. Okay. On attaining the age of majority, his liability will become automatically unlimited, and he will get the share in the profit and loss of the company, and he also allowed to participate in the management activity like other active partners. Okay, so this is the features and meaning of minor partner. Okay, next. What are all the rights of the minor partner? That is, we already studied, no? That is right to share the profit and the properties, and he is having the right to inspect and copy the accounts of the firm, and he can sue the partners for the payment of his share of profit or properties in the firm. If any partner is not paying the certain payment or not dividing the share of profit to the partner, means he is having all the rights to sue the case against the partnership firm in the court. Okay, so he is having all the rights. And there is two types of partnership firm. One is the general partnership, and next one is the limited partnership. What is the general partnership? That is ordinary partnership firm, which is having the unlimited liability to the partners. That is, usually this type of general partnership firm is found in our country. It is the general partnership firm is nothing but the ordinary partnership firm. Okay, and what is a particular partnership? It is formed for the particular purpose for a particular period, and it is dissolved after the expiry of the time or the completion of the project. So there is some of the agreement, and there is a contract between the partners in this type of particular partnership firm. Okay, so for example, if the partnership is formed for 2 years or for the construction of the house, so definitely within 2 years they have to complete that work. Okay, that is the particular partnership. Next one is partnership at will. At will means that is the duration of the partnership is not specified in the agreement. So it will continue for an indefinite period. So there is no certain period to complete the partnership firm. So it can be dissolved at any time as it is decided by all of the partners. Okay. The next one is the limited partnership. So limited partnership, there is a two type of partners, general partners and special partners. General partners, then unlimited, there is unlimited liability, but for the special partners there is a limited liability. Unlimited liability means, what is the meaning? I already explained, no? That is, if he is not able to repay the debt to the financial institution, so he should come forward and he have to pay. He is responsible to pay the debt by selling his own property. Okay, if the amount which is not sufficient, that is from the partnership firm, then he should repay the debt from his personal property also. That is the unlimited liability. But it's a limited liability means, so in that case there is no compulsion for that person to sell his utilize his own property to repay the debt to the financial institutions. Next one is partnership deed. Partnership deed. So what is my partnership deed? So the document containing the terms and conditions. So it is one of the document which is containing the terms and conditions of the partnership agreement. Okay, so the document containing the terms and conditions of the partnership agreement is known as the partnership deed. So it is a stamped paper. So see the picture, It is a stamped. It is a stamped paper. Okay. It is a stamped paper on which the rules and regulations and terms and conditions. These are all the terms and conditions which of partnership for it's in a written form. Okay, and it also contains the rights and duties. See that it also contains the rights and duties of the partnership firm. Okay, and some of the content. What are all the content of the partnership deed? It's the name of the firm, address of all the partners, and content, nature and place of the business, date of commencement of the partnership, when they are going to start, duration of the partnership, if it is 5 years or 3 years, what is the amount of capital contributed by all the partners, an amount that can be withdrawn by each partner, what is the amount which is withdrawn by each partner, and rules regarding the operation of the bank account. Okay, and how to divide the profit and losses, and sharing of profit and losses as per the ratio, and what is the percentage of interest which is to be provided on the capital or from the drawings. Next, what is the percentage of interest on the partner's loan? Some of the partners will provide certain loan to the partnership firm, no? So how much percentage of interest to be provided to the partners, and salaries or commission to the partners, division of the work. So which partner is going to carry out the what type of work, what is the nature of the work, that is the division of the work, and the goodwill. So the type of how to value the goodwill, what is the method to follow to value the goodwill at the time of admission of the partner, at the time of retirement, at the time of death of the partner, and how to settle the accounts during the dissolution. Dissolution means due to the insolvency position, that is not able to repay the debt, if they are decided to close the partnership firm. So at the time of dissolution of the firm, how to settle the accounts, how to sell the properties, or how to pay the debt, all the important details should be included in the partnership deed, and how to make the auditing, and what are all the provisions regarding the borrowings. So in order to repay the debt, they have to maintain some provisions. Provisions means the amount which is if it is to be needed, reserves, they have to maintain certain amount as a provisions in their partnership firm. If there is any emergency, they will utilize that provisions amount. Okay, next, rights and duties and liabilities of the partners. So these are all the common content of the partnership deed. Okay, and next one is registration of the partnership. How to register the partnership firm, how to register the partnership firm. Okay, so legally it is not compulsory for the partnership firm to get itself registered, but all the partners prefer to get firm registered, because an unregistered firm suffers from some of the problems. So if all the partners is preferring to register under the Partnership Act, then the partnership firm, but it is not compulsory, but as per the suggestions of the other partners, the partnership firm can be registered under the Partnership Act. So next you have to know what are some of the procedures for the registration. So there is remitting the fees for the register. Partnership firm can be registered at any time, that is the time of formation or later, or whenever the partners desires to get it, the partnership firm can be registered. Okay, so to get the firm registered, the partners have to apply to the registrar. To whom? To the registrar. They have to apply to the registrar in a prescribed form, in a particular form, along with the registration fee. Okay, so to get the firm registered, the partners have to apply to the registrar in a prescribed form along with the registration fees. Okay, and along with the application, some of the information should also must be supplied. So some of the information should also be keep with the partners. That is the name of the firm, what is the place of the business, what is the address of the head office, and that is the name. If there is any branch office means they have to indicate the address of that branch office, and date of admission of the partners. If the new partner is entered into the business means they have to specify the date, in which date the new partner come into the existence, and name and permanent address of all the partners, and what is the duration of the partnership firm. Okay, so this all information should be in the partnership firm, and the application must be signed by all the partners. So after completing all this formalities, the registrar will verify all the informations, and if it is satisfied, then he will issue the certificate of registration. Okay, wow. So certificate of registration is the evidence to start the business, and the firm will get the benefits of the registered firm. So after registration, if any changes are made in the information, then it should be submitted with the registrar immediately. Okay, and that same changes should be communicated to the registrar immediately. So these are all the procedures for the registration of the partnership firm. Okay, so today we completed the another form of business organization, that is the partnership firm. That is the features, merits, limitations, what are all the types of the partners, that is active partner, sleeping partner, and secret partner, nominal partner. So in nominal partner there is a two types: nominal partner by estoppel and nominal partner by holding out. And about the minor partner, and next one is the partnership deed. What is the partnership deed? What are the contents to be included in the partnership deed, and how to register the partnership firm? What are all the procedures of registering the partnership firm, and what is the duty of the registrar? How to apply to the registrar, and what are all the informations to be communicated to the registrar? Okay, so the partnership firm is over. The next topic we are going to see is cooperative organization. Cooperative organization. So this is another different form of business organization. There is another two topic: cooperative organization and joint stock company. Okay, so we will see these two topics in the next class. Okay, thank you, students.